Hello guys, this is Chaos Error Studio. After the Cupid 65, the Cupid Switch is also close to GB. During the development of Cupid Switch, our original intention was to create a companion switch. However, due to the excellent communication with Jinwaker and after several rounds of sample production and testing, the requirements for the switches gradually increased. With Jinwaker's cooperation, we discovered that this switch has gradually developed its own unique characteristics and advantages. Positioning it as a mere companion to other products would be underselling its potential. Furthermore, through our discussions with Mr. Lee, the CEO of Jinwaker, he embraced our vision for this product, a cost-effective switch that most people would be delighted to use. We extend special thanks to Mr. Lee for his support, which allowed the Cupid switches to be presented in what we consider their most perfect state. Throughout our development process for the Cupid switches, we have had a strong dedication to smoothness. In this process, our understanding of smoothness has evolved further. There are various ways to achieve smoothness, which we can broadly categorize into two types. One is where the switches benefit from the presence of lubricant, preventing direct friction between plastic. Lubricants act as a medium for reducing friction, which ease the requirements on the modes and result in a very smooth feel. However, lubricants themselves can introduce friction, especially those with high viscosity. After lubrication, they might exhibit a slight viscous feeling during the linear motion, similar to cutting through butter with a knife. We refer to this as soft smoothness. The other sensation that we value is one that relies less on or minimizes the effect of lubricants. It depends on the excellent smoothness of the modes themselves and reduction in the friction coefficient through material composition. We aim to minimize friction between components. During the linear motion, this results in a clean and crisp feel, free from the sticky sensation of lubricants. You will hardly feel any resistance throughout the switch. We refer to this as dry smoothness. Based on this understanding, our goal is to create the Cupid switch as dry smooth as possible. Therefore, in our overall lubrication approach, we abandon the commonly used Jinwaker's lubrication methods. Firstly, we replace lubricating oil with lubricating grease and discuss way lubrication, because in the switch's travel process, the main friction occurs on the ribs of the wheels. If these ribs are smooth enough, even without using lubricating grease, an exceptionally smooth feel can be achieved. So, in the mode, we began an intense polishing process, with each rib receiving up to 3 rounds of polishing, aiming to minimize the need of lubrication. Therefore, for the 48 grams of Cupid switches, we adopted a lubrication strategy that lubricates only the stern feet and the spring. Lubricating stern feet was aimed at eliminating the noise caused by the metal leaflets, and lubricating the springs also served to mitigate the metallic sound from the springs. After the final product was made, the smoothness of switches was remarkably noticeable. However, this approach introduced other issues. Since the lubrication was minimal, the switches generated more keyboard noise during the operation, and the sound of rebound increased, resulting in a less talky auditory experience during typing. But this typing feel sensation genuinely delivered the crisp and smooth effect that we aimed for. Therefore, we were faced with a decision to make. Additionally, we found that using a dry firm lubricant on the stern, if properly controlled in terms of quantity, could achieve a dry smooth typing sensation too. The dry firm lubricant acts as a buffer, significantly reducing friction and collision between stern and the housings. This results in a more mellow and pure sound for Cupid switch. However, it is crucial to control the quantity effectively. An excessive application of lubricant on the stern could have adverse effects. After several rounds of prototyping, we finally settled on the lubrication solution for the 55-gram version of Cupid switch. This time, we have applied different lubrication methods to switch with various actuation forces, aiming to gather more feedback from everyone regarding the dry smooth typing sensation. We value your input and impressions. These are primary typing feeling characteristics that Cupid Switch aims to achieve. Now I will continue sharing some adjustments we made regarding the materials. Initially, we decided to use POK for the stone due to its high strength, impact resistance, and friction tolerance. For the housings, we choose PON because there are many excellent switches that primarily use PON as the main material, especially the switch made by Jinweike. However, during sample testing, we discovered an issue. Most switches using PON as primary material typically have stones made of Ly or P3. This is because if the hardness coefficient of the stone material and housings material are too similar, it will increase the friction coefficient, affecting the smoothness. POK and PON share similar hardness, so if we insisted on using them together, we have to employ an auxiliary material to form an alloy and modify the material's properties. This phase was the most challenging. The process of material blending contains many uncertainties. The addition of different materials, their individual ratios, and their combination create a complex landscape. What's crucial is that the resulting material's quality can only be assessed once we have actual samples in hand. It is frustrating because even with the same materials, different ratio can significantly alter the sound of the switch. This left us in a difficult situation. During the prototyping process, preparing injection molding machine and prefabricating the materials consume a considerable amount of time, typically requiring about 2 hours for each injection cycle. The factory also has its regular production schedule during working hours, and we couldn't disrupt Jinweike's normal production arrangements. Consequently, we have to schedule prototyping during the evenings and late nights, which led to Jinweike's CEO, Mr. Lee, and us working tirelessly for more than a dozen of consecutive nights. Eventually, through a stroke of luck, we arrived at the current material composition. Just when we saw we have finally resolved all the issues, new problems emerged. Due to the nature of mixed materials, the material's properties underwent some change. However, the newly produced switches had a scratch feel, with approximately 50% of them exhibiting these issues. Initially, we suspected that it might be due to the insufficient smoothness on the top housing ribs. Consequently, we repeatedly disassembled the molds for repolishing. However, the problem persists. After exhaustively ruling out all possibilities based on our experience, we finally resorted to examining the switches under a microscope. The results revealed that the change in material properties had also altered the shrinkage rate. During the injection molding process, the two wells on the button housing had deformed due to this change and affecting the stone's movement path. The only solution was to dismantle the mold and reconfigure them. However, it is precisely because of the recurring issues that we repeatedly polished the molds, finally achieving the results we have today. In terms of other parameters, the total travel of Cupid Switch is 3.8 mm. This not only avoids the issues of a key travel being too short, which can lead to finger fatigue, but also allows the typing sounds to be fully expressed. Overall, the main focus remains on providing a comfortable typing experience. Additionally, to cater to the preference of all you guys, two kinds of spring have been chosen: 14 gram and 55 gram single-stage spring. The 14 gram spring provides a lighter and more effortless feel while typing, along with good typing feedback, making them suitable for the people who require extended typing sections. On the other hand, the 55 gram spring offers a heavier feel with fast rebound, providing a typing session without being overly resistant. These are well suited for the people who prefer a stronger typing feedback. As mentioned earlier, two different fabric lubrication methods have been prepared for two types of Cupid Switch with different springs. Cupid Switch with 14 gram spring will undergo a minimal lubrication process. Lubrication will be applied only to the feet of the stone and spring. This approach benefits from precise control over mold tolerance and multiple rounds of polishing. delivering the most authentic smooth feel of Cupid Switch. And for the 55-gram Cupid Switch, we will use the dry firm lubrication on the stem. This results in a smoother and pure sound while maintaining a comfortable typing feel. Both of these factory lubrication methods have been fine-tuned to continuous testing, and we encourage everyone to share their opinions and feedback after trying them out. We are committed to incorporating your feedback. Additionally, we will also offer no-loop version of the Cupid Switch with both spring types, so that you can choose according to your preference. That's all for this video. We are Chaos Ever, and see you next time.